The 1999 film Office Space is considered by many people a cult classic. I personally find this entertaining, it's funny, and more importantly, it has interesting characters as well a good story. For the record, I did hear about this one for so many years, but I never checked it out until earlier this year. And coming back to rewatch it for this review, I have to say this film still feels relevant to this day because so many people can relate to these characters. So the story of this one is that it follows a guy named Pierre Gibbons who works at a company called Initech. He's unsatisfied with his job, but one day he is hypnotized by his therapist, but when his therapist ends up dying, Pierre ends up staying in that state of no worries. Later in the movie, when he comes out of the hypnosis, he realizes that him and his two friends can steal fractions of a penny from the company, and well, from there is without question one of the most notable movies of the late 1990s. You know, this film has generated a lot of internet memes throughout the years. I myself think this is a movie that is well done. Doesn't have one of the best stories I've seen from a plot or a premise similar to this, but I did like what it looked into, and that is the white collar employees having about enough and then doing something about it. Nonetheless, while this is not one of my favorite comedies from that era, it is still a must watch in my opinion. I really like how relatable they made this film for a lot of people out there. Personally, I myself never had an office job, but I can understand the mundane, routine type of work that will frustrate people who actually has to deal with that. And not just that, the characters, yeah, a lot of them have some interesting personalities, particularly Pierre. I thought that Rob Livingston did such a good job in the role. Pierre, he definitely doesn't like his job. He's depressed by it, he's frustrated. They keep asking him about that TPS reports. I thought that Samir, yeah, a cool character. He has that gusto about him, even though he doesn't like his job either. And I can say same about Michael Bolton, which is funny because he has the same name as the famous singer, and he himself doesn't even like being called that, even though it's his name. These three guys, yeah, they're definitely going through a lot. And particularly, though, when Pierre asks out Joanne, he definitely has a boost in confidence. Speaking of which, I thought that Jennifer Aniston, she did such a good job in the role as well. I definitely like her character. She's working at a restaurant job, and she actually ends up following Pierre's advice about not worrying about those types of things, you know. And it's actually an interesting side arc for her. Not just that though, but I thought there was a character I really didn't like, Bill Lumbergh, who is the bully, you know, the boss. Man, this guy, he's such a prick. He always picks on Milton, telling him,
Milt, we're going to need to go ahead and move you downstairs into storage B.
No,
We
I was told I could
have some
not.
new people coming in, and we need all the
There's-
space we can get.
But there's no space.
So if you could just go ahead and pack up your stuff and move it down there,
But no,
that would be terrific.
I was told
Okay.
I could stay.
you know, it's quite unfair. Speaking of Milton, I felt bad for this guy. Not only was he constantly getting bullied around, but even at Bill's birthday party, he didn't even get a piece of cake. The final straw was when he had to get his stapler back, and well, he ended up burning down the building that he worked in. And you know, I was like, yes, the guy finally got revenge. Even though he committed a crime, he still like, he had enough. This film, it's not one of the most hilarious comedies I've ever seen, but I do like what it did during the time. The use of hip-hop music I thought was very smart because during the time, movies like this would either go with pop or even rock music. And I thought it was kind of unexpected because I actually did like the songs that was presented here. There is so much that I do like about this. Even more than 2 decades later, this is still quite the gem. And while it may not be one of the best films in the 1990s, it's still entertaining nonetheless. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Yeah, this does have a good ending, not only for Peter, Samir, and Michael, but also for Milton. This is the type of movie you could put on a typical day and just have a fun time with it. Plus, with it being less than 9 minutes, it never feels like it's overstaying its welcome. Overall, director Mike Judge did such a good job with this classic. It has so many memorable moments. Internet memes exist of this film. And quite frankly, it's a satisfying comedic adventure in my opinion. And that's my review of Office Space. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.
If your boss is a SOB, tell him the SHOVE, the JOB. Put your middle finger up slowly, put it close enough to his face so he can examine it closely. Say I ain't working here no more, who do you think you are? Rip your apron off, throw it on the floor, run to the door, to the payphone, make a toll-free call, tell your spouse what happened to where you are.